Today I'm going to be reading How I Learned Geography by Shulevitz. This is based on this author's real childhood experience of having to leave his home and really having nothing with him. And so let's read to find out about how he learned geography. All right. When war devastated the land, buildings crumbled to dust. Everything we had was lost, and we fled empty-handed. So I can't imagine having to leave my home with nothing. We traveled far, far east to another country, where summers were hot and winters were cold. To a city of houses made of clay, straw, and camel dung, surrounded by dusty steeps, burned by the sun. We lived in a small room with a couple we did not know. We slept on a dirt floor and had no toys and no books. Worst of all, food was scarce. So scarce means there wasn't a lot of it. There wasn't enough. One day, Father went to the bazaar to buy bread. So that's like their marketplace. Look at all the people there. As evening approached, he hadn't returned. Mother and I were worried and hungry. It was nearly dark when he came home. He carried a long roll of paper under his arm. "I bought a map," he announced triumphantly. "Where's the bread?" Mother asked. "I bought a map," he said again. Mother and I said nothing. I had enough money to buy only a tiny piece of bread, and we would still be hungry, he explained apologetically. "No supper tonight," Mother said bitterly. "We'll have a map instead." So I can't imagine them worried about him all day, excited about this bread that they get to eat, and his father comes home with this map. So I'm wondering why, like what was he thinking? I was furious. I didn't think I would ever forgive him. I went to bed hungry while the other couple we lived with ate their meager supper. The husband was a writer. He wrote in silence, but oh, how loudly he chewed. He chewed a small crust of bread with such enthusiasm as if it were the most delicious morsel in the world. I envied him his bread and wished I were the one chewing it. I covered my head with my blanket so I would not hear him smacking his lips with such noisy delight. This page right here, I think the author's really trying to describe how hungry he was. The next day, Father hung up the map. It took up the entire wall. Our cheerless room was flooded with color. So look at how the author really kind of emphasized the color in this room. Our cheerless room, so a room with no cheer or happiness, is now flooded with color. To me, that sounds happy or bright, like something might be changing. I became fascinated by the map. I spent long hours looking at it, studying its every detail, and many days drawing it on any scrap of paper that chanced my way. I'm thinking this is like the important part here that ties back to that title about how I learned geography. I found strange sounding names on the map and savored their exotic sounds, making a little rhyme out of them. Fakana, Takana, Amas, Fakama, Nagama, Tamas, Agazaki, Miyazaki, Pinks, Pennsylvania, Transylvania, Minx. I repeated this rhyme like a magic incantation and was transported far away without ever leaving our room. This last sentence here I'm really connecting to right now. Without being able to leave our house or our homes, he's able to travel far away through this map, kind of like we are with books and reading and virtual field trips. I landed in burning deserts. I ran on beaches and felt their sand between my toes. I climbed snowy mountains where icy winds licked my face. I saw wondrous temples where stone carvings danced on the walls, and birds of all colors sang on the rooftops. I passed through fruit groves, eating as many papayas and mangoes as I pleased. I drank fresh water and rested in the shade of palm trees. I came to a city of tall buildings and counted zillions of windows, falling asleep before I could finish. And so I spent enchanted hours far, far from our hunger and misery. I forgave my father. He was right after all. So it seems to me that him saying that his father was right, that he would have still been hungry even if he had eaten that bread. But through this, it's brought him hours and hours of joy and really brings to light all our world has to offer just by even looking at a map. So I hope you enjoyed this story by Shulevitz about how he learned geography. And I can't wait to read to you again.